There was a very famous, some say it's a spy, but he was a scholar, was Sarat Chandra. In 19th century, he went to Tibet. He stayed there for a long time. He studied Tibetan to the extent that he was so fluent in Tibetan, he wrote the first dictionary, Tibetan English dictionary. So in 1950s and 60s, when he came to exile, his dictionary was the most used dictionary. So around the world, even the Western scholars, those who wanted to study Tibet, those who didn't understand Tibetan, they used that Sarat Chandra Das dictionary. And when he came from Tibet to India, returned, he brought tons of scriptures and text. That also is preserved. So that saved a lot about Tibet, especially about Tibetan Buddhism. See? So that's the modern contribution by a Bengali scholar. Now again, Buddhism was introduced in Tibet in 7th, 8th centuries. And it flourished. But then there was disunity, factional fights, then Buddhism declined. And in 10th and 11th century, Atisha, Dipankar, again another Bengali scholar, was invited to Tibet to reintroduce and revive Buddhism. So the revival of Buddhism in Tibet was because of a major contribution by another Bengali scholar. So I'm looking forward to all the Bengali students here and hoping you will lead the Tibetan movement like Subhash Chandra Bose and other great leaders, right? And help us free Tibet as well. Buddhism was introduced in Tibet in 7th and 8th centuries, right? By 3 great kings. But there was infighting. By 9th century, 10th century, Buddhism was declining. And it declined in Tibet. Who revived Buddhism in Tibet? Another Bengali scholar, master, Atisha Dipankhi. He went to Tibet and reintroduced Buddhism and brought back Buddhism to Tibet. See, first dictionary, when Buddhism declined, another Bengali guy, what do you say? Bonglo. Bengali is true. Then also Rabindranath Tagore. I meant Rabindranath Tagore, not Vivekananda. Rabindranath Tagore also. He was interested in Buddhism. He established Vishwa Bharati, university. He made sure that there is a program on Buddhism and also on Tibet. The first program in whole of India was in Vishwa Bharati. And he also invited Giuseppe Tucci, an Italian scholar. He is an expert in Buddhism, an expert in Tibet, to Vishwa Bharati. And Rabindranath Tagore had dialogue with him. So he was so interested. In fact, Rabindranath Tagore went to Kalimpong, met with Tibetans, and interacted with them. In 1954, when when they signed Panchshil, China said, could you open the Calcutta port for us so that we could bring supplies, arms, ammunition, food from China through Shanghai port to Calcutta port. From Calcutta port, you take all these goods and supplies to Sikkim and Darjeeling to Tibet so that we can provide food for our troops and officials. India said, Panchshil, we have friends, Calcutta port open. Then the supplies, they took so much supplies, they also had reserve. When they fully occupied Tibet in 1959, why they could occupy Tibet fully? Because they had enough supplies. And when they invaded India in 62, they had enough supplies which came from Calcutta port. Then government of India said, we made a mistake, shut down Calcutta port. As soon as India shut down Calcutta port, you should know, if you read history, China invaded India, Arunachal was occupied, part of Assam was occupied, they came all the way, right? Now, it's interestingly, they invaded in June of 1962. But November of 62, they withdrew, mysteriously. Because Indian army was not able to defend them. They just walked over. Indian army literally, they ran away because there were not many to begin with. They ran away. But it was always a mystery why they withdrew. After a few months, because they ran out of supplies. See, had they not opened the Calcutta port to begin with, invasion of 62 would have never happened. Had they not signed the Panchshil agreement with China, invasion of an occupation of Tibet would have been deterred or delayed. Because we ran out of time. We were appealing to international community. But we ran out of time because Chinese troops moved in very fast because they had all the supplies coming from Calcutta. See, Sarat Chandra Das is good. Atisha is good. Rabindranath Tagore is good. Calcutta port. But you can't blame Bengal. It's the government of India who did that. Yes?